Okay, I'm going to go ahead and admit everyone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We will get started in just a few minutes.
In just a few minutes.
And thank you all for hopping on. I will give you all a moment to adjust yourselves if you'd like to mute yourselves as you come on, and we will, if you have any questions or anything or tech issues, let us know as you're logging in. Otherwise, we'll get started shortly. Again, thank you all for being here. As you're logging in, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and muting yourselves, and if you would like to introduce yourselves in the chat, please type your name, your pronouns if you're comfortable sharing, and your organization. We're going to give it just one more minute before we get started. And Virginia, I just want to let you know that I don't have the chat up, just because it's, I don't want to have that on the recording. So if something pops up that I need, definitely let me know, please.
I sure will. Thank you, Brandy.
Yeah, thanks. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. This is our July Facts and Snacks webinar. My name is Brandy with Violence Free Colorado, and thank you all for being here with us. We are going to have a presentation about the Colorado VINELink, and we have a couple folks, Robert and Andrea, with us. But before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and explain the accessing our Spanish language channel, and Lucia is going to interpret for us while that is happening. So if you would like, once we activate the Spanish language channel, if you would like to access that channel, you will go ahead and click the globe icon that says interpretation down at the bottom of your screen.
Hola, buenos días a todos. Muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Le queremos explicar que tienen la opción de escuchar esta presentación en español. Para acceder a lo que es el canal en español, nada más hacen clic en lo que es el icono de globo abajo de la pantalla y eso los trae directamente a lo que es el canal de interpretación en español. Muchas gracias.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the interpretation. Maybe. Oh, goodness. The one thing that I didn't practice today, Lucia, I'm going to get you in here. All right. All right, if Lucia and Hannah can let me know that that's working. Oh, I can't hear you, Lucia. So
hello, this is Hannah. Yeah, Lucia, I can hear you.
Great. Thank you both so much. I also want to let you all know that we have live ASL interpretation available. If you do not have the ability to pin the ASL interpreter, Leslie, please message us in the chat, and Virginia and I will make sure that you have the power to pin Leslie so that you can, or Spotlight, so that way you can make sure that you are focused on her. And if you have any tech questions, please let us know in the chat. If there's anything that comes up during the presentation, we're happy to help troubleshoot. Also, just want to let you all know we are recording. It does say up in the left-hand corner live with zoomwithrev.com. We just want you to know that that is for supporting our captioning. So if you would like to turn the captions on for yourself, you can click on the more at the bottom of your screen, the three little dots, and then select turning on the captions. And you can select the language that you would like the captions in, that is an option. And in terms of other tech things, we are going to be keeping an eye on the chat. So if you have questions for the presenters, please type them in the chat, or you can come off mute and just let us know. You can interrupt and we can make sure that happens. So if there's no other questions or anything, please let us know if you have questions throughout. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Robert and Andrea. Thank you both so much for being here.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here and coming to this training. My name is Robert Branham, and I am the Colorado Vine Program Manager for our state. Every state has their own program manager. Andrea Musick-Johnson is also here with me, and she is the program technician for our Vine program. We are based out of the County Sheriffs of Colorado. That's who houses the Vine Manager Office for the state. It's a nonprofit organization that helps all 64 counties in Colorado and their sheriffs. So, Andrew, if you want to move to the next slide. So there's a couple of things we want to talk about today. One is, what is Vine? Why is Vine important? And then we're going to go through, Andrea is going to walk you through VINELink, which is the, of course, public-facing portal for Vine itself. So Vine is a software, and it has a couple of different things through there. But Vine stands for Victim Information and Notification Every Day. I hope that everyone who's on this webinar has had some experience using Vine in the past. If you have not, this is a great way for you to kind of determine how it can be used most effectively for you. But Vine provides timely offender custody information to victims of crime and concerned citizens, law enforcement, anyone who wants to know about that offender's custody status. It's a free service accessible by phone, website, and mobile app. And these are automated notifications by phone, email, text, either in-app or TTY for the hearing impaired. They do offer by letter, but nobody really uses that anymore. So let's talk about how and why Vine was created. Back in, I believe, 1993, Mary Byron was killed by her ex-boyfriend outside of her work. I think it was on Christmas Eve. He had been in jail for sexual assault, for kidnapping, for various different charges against Mary. And then the family was promised that they were going to be notified upon his release, but they weren't. A family member bonded him out, and he stalked her and found her outside of her work and killed her. The family took a $50,000 grant from the government to start this first automated victim notification program. In 1994, Vine was launched in just Louisville, Kentucky. And today it is quite a lot further. Does that video play, Andrea? Do you know if it plays?
I was going to check on that. Let's see if this is going to work correctly.
Andrea, this is Brandy. We're not hearing the audio.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, we are having issues with the audio. I can put the link to this in the chat. That way, after anyone who wants to watch it can. So I'll go ahead and do that for everyone.
Excellent. So this is Mary's offender, Donovan Harris. And I think probably 2017-ish or a few years back, he came up for parole. His initial sentence was life with the possibility of parole. And when he came up for parole this last time, they determined that he was no longer going to be eligible for parole. So he is now serving life without parole in the state of Kentucky. This is your Vine service map. This is the current Vine service map. There's only 3 states in the country that do not use Vine in some way, shape, or form: South Dakota, Nebraska, and Maine. Now, it doesn't mean they don't have any victim notifications, but they just don't currently use the Vine software to do their notifications. Let's talk about how Vine works. Step one is when booking occurs. Vine has a portal in every booking management software that the jails have out there that will automatically receive the booking and arrest and crime data from the jail the person's arrested at. It'll port it over to Vine and put it into the Vine system. Then victims can access Vine anonymously, checking the inmate's custody status through the toll-free number, through VINELink.com, through the app, or through the Mobile Patrol app. The victim will be registered, and so in the state of Colorado, we have an opt-out instead of an opt-in. What that means is all victims are required to be opted into the Vine system unless they specifically opt out of it. That means they will receive a notification, an automated notification of custody status change via Vine if the jail is using the Vine system, through phone, email, text, TTY, or an app. When that offender is released or transferred, one of those critical stages where they're now moving over, that victim will receive, or that registrant will receive notification through one of the means that we talked about. Some of the other examples that they can receive updates on are a release, a transfer, escape, death, probation, parole, and there's even work release notifications that are getting ready to be sent in some jurisdictions as well. So when that offender's custody status is changed within that bill or booking management system, it automatically gets sent to Vine, which pushes that information out with the information that the system has for the registrant or victim. Are there any questions so far before I kind of move on about VINELink? If you've never used VINELink before, please let me know so we can answer as many questions as possible to ensure that everyone has a great understanding of it. Excellent. So far, so good. And Brandy, if you could just ensure that if we do get a question up there in the chat or anything like that, if you could let me know, it'd be great.
Absolutely. Thank you, Robert. We'll make sure that we'll pop in. And again, just to remind folks, you can type in the chat or you can unmute yourselves if you want to ask a question directly. If you are accessing ASL or Spanish, our interpreters can help with interpreting the questions as well.
Excellent. So these are your mobile platform search options for offender information. The Colorado Vine phone number is right there. It's the 888 number. You can also go through vinelink.com, which is the online portal. It's a public portal. Or you can download the mobile app for Vine. The mobile app for Vine is very easy to use. It has the same functionality as the website. And you can keep it on your phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you need to. We'll talk quickly about a Vine account, and then Andrea will show you about the Vine accounts when she does the website tutorial. So a user account is confidential. Your name and address are not required, and an email or phone is required just for verification purposes. When you have an account, you can access one of these great features like the watch list. The watch list is important for those victims or folks who are recurrently in the criminal justice system. It will save a list of offenders for you, so you do not have to re-register for them or keep searching for them in Vine. And you no longer have to conduct a new search every time for the same offender. It helps you when you're trying to get your notifications. This is what the VINELink mobile app looks like when you open it. It looks the same as when you open it on your computer. And it has you collect or select the state that you're going to be using first off. But the VINELink mobile app allows survivors and concerned citizens to access Vine conveniently from their mobile devices. It is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. You can view offender custody status information over the 2,900 law enforcement agencies with approximately 93% nationwide coverage. You can also register through that app for offender custody change notifications.
Robert, this is Brandy. I just wanted to interject and say, when you're going through the slides, if you wouldn't mind slowing down just a little bit for our interpreters, that would help. Thank you.
Okay. Now I want to turn it over to Andrea for the VINELink demonstration.
Hi, everyone. Please give me a couple minutes so I can share the correct screen. And will you let me know if you can see the VineLink website on your page?
Yes, we do see it, Andrea. This is Brandy.
Wonderful. Okay. So whenever you decide to go to vinelink.com, what's going to happen is it's automatically going to have this little message pop up. And I just want to hit on this really quick. This button right here, this quick exit button, what it's going to do is if you have someone or you yourself are accessing VineLink and you want to do it privately and maybe someone walks in the room, you can click this quick exit button and it will completely take you out of Vine completely. So that's just something I wanted to touch base on. Now, this is the page that you'll see when you go to vinelink.com, and you can you can decide which information you would like to collect information from, which state you'd like to collect information from. Now, since I'm in Colorado, I'm going to go ahead and click on Colorado. It's going to take you and you'll get these whenever you log on, you'll get these little pop-out messages, and you can read through them and then just click out of them. But whenever you select the state that you would like to view information from, it's going to come up with these 4 different options that you can click on. You can search for someone, an offender. You can look up registrations that you have registered to receive notifications from or for. And then you can find service providers. Now, a lot of people who use Vine, I have heard of throughout trainings that we've done and spoken to some people that they didn't know that Vine offers resources throughout the state for various reasons or situations that people are going through. And I'll touch base on that in just a minute. But if you've never used VineLink at all and you don't know where to go and how to operate the website, you can click I need guidance. And what this is going to do is it's going to immediately pop up a message that asks if you feel safe. If you don't feel safe, it will prompt you to call 911. But I currently feel safe, so I'll click yes. And it will bring up the option to look for resources for any type of situation that I'm going through. So if you wanted to talk to someone and you're going through a specific situation that involves your finances, your mental health, you can click on one of these resource options, and it will take you to a page. Give me a minute. I apologize. Basically, what it will do, since it's not pulling up for me, it's going to bring up resources throughout your state. And my state is Colorado. It's going to bring up resources that I can use to help my situation. So if you have a victim who is going through a tough time, have them go through VineLink and look up the resources throughout their state. It's a very, very helpful option to have. So that is an option that a lot of people should be using more often. And it's great that Vine offers that. If you will give me a minute, it appears that my computer is not wanting to cooperate. There we go. Okay. So let's just say that you knew that you needed to search for a service provider. You can do so by accessing that here. And again, either you know the organization name or you don't. You can search for which category or which resource you're looking for. So that's another way to look for resources throughout your state. Now, if you're wanting to search for an offender and you're wanting to keep tabs on what's happening with that offender's custody status, you can do so by accessing that information as a guest, or you can do so by signing in. You'll see here that I am not signed in, but if I wanted to create an account, I could quickly do so here. I would pick a username, a password, and then it's going to ask me to verify with either my email or a telephone number. And then it will send you a verification code that you will then put back in, and you now have an account. It's that easy. It's very quick to do so. So I want to show you briefly what it looks like on VINELink to access it as a guest, and then access it as an account holder. So we'll go ahead and we'll search for an offender. I'm in Colorado, but if you were in any other state that uses Vine, you would click that specific state. You can search for an offender by ID number or name. And most of the time, people don't know the ID number. They do know the name. And let's just say that you knew the first name, but you weren't sure of the last name. You knew it started with a J or an O. You could click partial name, and it'll prompt you to put in at least 2 characters for the first name and 2 characters for the last name. That way it can pull in all potential matches. So I will go ahead and put in an individual just for an example. And you'll click I am not a robot. Alrighty. So let's just say that you were looking for information on Mr. Michael Joseph Ray Wilson. You could click record details or record details, excuse me. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull up all of the information that Vine has collected on this individual. It's going to show you his age, his gender, his race, and sometimes it will also show a photo. Some of them have them, some of them don't. But if you scroll down to record details, it's going to show you the reporting agency, the location, and all of his custody status information. Now, what I want to point out is you'll see here that because I'm using VINELink as a guest, it's only giving me partial information for the date of birth and the ID number. So that's one of the other differences besides not having a watch list, which I'll go over here in a minute, is when you're accessing VINELink as a guest, you're only going to get partial information on certain things. Now, since I'm still using this as a guest, but I do want to be notified, I can sign up to be notified about this offender. And I apologize for the slowness of my system. But like I was saying, you can access notifications. Notifications can be sent to you even as a guest. So let's just say that I wanted to be notified through text message, I could click text message. I would put in my number here, and it's going to prompt me to create a PIN. This PIN is going to allow me access to receive those notifications. And like I said, even if you're a guest, you can still receive those notifications. Now, I'm going to show you the difference between what having an account looks like versus not having an account. So I'll sign in. And again, I apologize for my system being so slow this morning. Okay, here we go. So now that I'm signed in, let's go back to the search so I can show you what it looks like for Mr. Michael Wilson's record details. So I'll go back in here. I'll search for him. We will get through this. I apologize. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So now that I'm signed in, I'm going to go ahead and click record details, and hopefully it takes me there quickly. And what you'll see is now I can see his full date of birth and I can see his full ID. And you're also going to see that I now have a little icon here, which gives me the option to put him under my watch list. So I will go ahead and put him under my watch list. And what that's going to do is that is going to put him, excuse me, I already had him there. So what that's going to do is he is going to now be put under my watch list. Now my watch list is under my info, and let's see. And what that means is instead of me having to come back in and like Robert mentioned, type out his name and scroll to find him, he's going to be in one specific location under my info. And as soon as my computer decides to cooperate, we will get there and I will show you. So now that I put him under my watch list, he is now here, and I don't have to go back anymore and search for him again. He is under my watch list. Now, I don't know any of these individuals, but I wanted to do this just for training purposes. Let's just say that one individual was arrested and I wanted to keep tabs on him just to find out what was going on with him. But he had 5 or 4 other individuals who are arrested with him. I just want to figure out and keep tabs on where they're at, what's going on with them, but I don't really need to receive notifications. I don't need a text message about what, their custody status. I don't need an email. I would just like to access VINELink.com, have an account, and be able to just click on their name quickly just to see what's going on. I can do that here. So just because they're in your watch list does not mean that you have to have a registration to receive notifications. You can just keep them here for quick access. Now, let's say that I did want to start receiving information about this offender's custody status. What I could do is just click here, get notified. What will happen is it will pull up a screen that you saw before that allows me to either have access through email, through TTY, or text message, or a phone call. So I can receive those notifications by clicking Get Notified. And what's going to happen is Mr. Wilson will then be put into my registrations because I have registered to receive information about him, about his custody. And again, I apologize for my computer being so slow. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but the difference is under my info, the registration tab is anyone that I have registered to receive information on. My watch list is just individuals I want to keep tabs on by myself without having to receive any type of notification. So that's the difference. Now I'll go back to my info. Goodness. Okay. And under my info, this is where you'll have your registrations, your watch list, and you'll also have an option to save the different service providers that you are interested in contacting. So let's just say that you found 5 different service providers and you wanted to kind of call each one of them and you wanted to save that information so you didn't have to go back and look again. You can save them here. And if you no longer need them, you can delete them. The account settings is just basically, and I would click these, but it's taking too much time. So I'll just explain what's underneath these tabs or what's in these tabs. The account settings are just your personal information, your PIN number, your email, and anything that you have set up for you, your phone number, that's all located here. Now the alerts is specific for in-app alerts. So if you downloaded the Vine app on your phone, all of the alerts that were sent to your in-app notifications that were sent via in-app notifications are going to be here. So let's just say you lost your phone, but you wanted to see if your in-app notifications had sent you anything about an offender, you can check that here. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, awesome. You can switch the language here, which is a great option. And if you need help with anything, let's just say that you're having trouble with your account or a victim is not receiving notifications, you can click support here and scroll down, and it's going to give you a number to contact Vine. You can contact them, like Robert mentioned, 24/7, 365 days a week. It's also going to connect you with over 200 languages that are available via live operator support. And also, if you need to contact Robert or myself and you don't want to go through this phone number, you can contact us and we will be glad to help you with whatever you need. Let's see. And I believe that is it for VINELink.com. It's a very easy website to maneuver through. But if you have any questions or you get stuck, please feel free to contact me or Robert. We will be glad to help you out. And with that, I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint.
Andrea, this is Brandy. It looks like in the chat we have one question. Is there a limit on the number of people you can obtain notifications on?
No, there's not. No, there's not. You could have 1 to 10 to 20. There are no limits on who you can receive information on. No, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So can y'all see the PowerPoint now?
Yes, we are back on the PowerPoint.
Wonderful. Okay. So let's see. Give me a minute here. So I'd like to quickly go over the additional Vine resources. If you'd like, you can contact Vine support with the vinesupport@acris.com email, or you can call this number. It gives you the option to, when you call, it gives you the option to connect with live operators, connect with monitoring and support, get information on the technology platform, and access the technical support team. So any time of the day, if you need help or you need to reach out for some sort of assistance, you can do so. We are also on social media. So if you are on any of these platforms, we encourage you to connect with us. And if you'd like to stay up to date, you can also join our mailing list, which is you can sign up via this link here. But that is VINELink. It's a very easy and very useful tool to utilize. If you have any questions, you can contact, like I said, Robert or myself. We'll be glad to help you with anything that you might need. So is there any questions before we end this?
Andrea, this is Brandy. Thank you so much. This is really helpful. I know I learned quite a few new things myself, so I definitely appreciate it. And I know that folks in our audience definitely are learning a lot too. So if anybody has questions, again, you can unmute or you can type them in the chat. I did want to ask Andrea if you have that link for the video, if you're able to put that in the chat. And let everyone know that we will go ahead, as you're thinking about questions, I'm going to go ahead and pop up a poll. And then also we will send out the slides, and that'll include the video link afterwards in our follow-up email, and that'll come out sometime next week. So just checking to see if folks have questions. I don't see any in the chat. I'm going to pause for a moment to see if folks want to come off mute and ask any questions. All right, I went ahead and launched the poll. There are 3 questions, so if you all wouldn't mind sharing your feedback with us. And when we send up the follow-up email, we will also have a link to a narrative feedback option, and I'm going to put that in the chat as well. And thank you for the video link, Andrea. That's really helpful.
You're welcome.
And I'm not noticing questions, but thank you all for filling out the poll. We'll leave it open for just a few more seconds. I am noticing that I actually don't see folks filling out the poll. Is anybody having a problem seeing it?
No, Brandy, I'm showing that 58% participated in the poll.
Oh, okay, great. I'm glad that you could see that. Sorry, on my end it says 0%, so I just wanted to check. So thank you all for participating. I'm so sorry to disregard your participation on accident. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll right now, and I'll go ahead and share out those results. There we go. All right. Thank you all for doing that. Again, we'll wait one more moment around seeing if anybody has any questions either in the chat or wants to unmute. All right. Well, again, I definitely appreciate all of the information that Andrea, that you and Robert shared with us today. I think that this will be a really great resource for folks to be able to access. We will share it on our YouTube channel and make sure everybody gets those links when they're available. So thank you all for being with us today. Again, if you think of questions that you have for Andrea or Robert, you can contact them directly. You'll get their contact info here in the slides next week. But also if something comes up more immediately, you can always contact us here at Violence Free, and we can make sure we get a message to them really quickly if you need that. So thank you all so much for your attention today. Lots of thank yous coming in through the chat. So thanks so much. And we're going to go ahead and stop recording.